Just going to wait a few seconds to make sure everything's all set up on the YouTube side, and then we shall get a crack-a-lacking. Right, so hello and welcome to another Crafty Simulations video. It's been a while, well, since I've done this kind of video, because I've been on my hollybobs, and I'm back. So we're back to some sense of normality. And while I've been gone, while I've been away, there has been quite a lot of Flight Simulator new releases and new versions of various aircraft that took my fancy. A2A's Aerostar. Again, about 2 or 3 different updates have been released in the time I've been off. Let's see now. Cows have released the DA40 NG. That's going to be featuring in the next video, but not today, because today we're looking back at another twin-engine aircraft. I do love my twins. And today is going to be the Black Square Piston Duke. And yes, Black Square have released updates for 5 or so, I think it is, of their aircraft, their range, that were originally set for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. They're now fully ready and raring to go in Flight Simulator 2024. And you get a separate installation file for them, and this is one of the aircraft that I've got. I do own the Piston Duke and the Turbine Duke, or Turbo Duke even, so they both get the same treatment. And I never knew, where's that aircraft come from? Flight Simulator has been changing a few settings. I'm pretty sure I've never seen aircraft in the background. Oh, God blimey. Let's turn that off for a start. Why is that on? Where is it? Oh, God. Is it on? Why is it on? Why am I getting aircraft? Oh, no idea. Joy's doing live videos. If the sound gets a little bit too much, what is that thing? Oh, an Embraer. Okay. And, yeah. I've never seen that yet. I haven't played with any settings, and now I've got different aircraft. Anyway, back to this aircraft. This is, like I said, the Black Square Duke, and we are now going to be taking off with other aircraft. That's going to be interesting. Might have to break a few rules on this one. So anyway, yes, Black Square have released a new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 variants or versions of the particular aircraft. And yes, I'm glad it's gone quiet now. And this is one of them. So if you haven't seen this, it's a really, really good aircraft. I do like twins. And this is one of the most prettiest of the twin-engined aircraft I have in my collection. And it's a beauty. It's an absolute beauty. If you don't know what Black Square do, how they create their aircraft, they're on par, I do believe they are on par with A2A. They are that good. Very, very detailed. Very, very pretty looking aircraft. Got nice little winglets here. And extremely detailed with multiple layered surfaces and multiple layered levels of detail inside the aircraft, which you'll show in a few minutes. But it is a it's a very striking aircraft. It's a very old aircraft, I do believe, the Dukes. In Flight Simulator terms, I think there was Real Air Simulations, I think it was, back in FSX days, that had the Piston Dukes. And they had to wait till 2020 to come out for us to get the Turbo Dukes and Turbo Dukes and Piston Dukes. So basically the difference between the two aircraft obviously is the engine system. Other than that, they are still, I mean, just look at this thing, it just looks brilliant. Anyway, what we're going to do today, we're going to hop inside the cockpit for a start, get the noise down a bit, and Thank you. And we are going to basically have a little flight around our airfield here, Humberside, of course. Nice long runway. We are going to disappear a little bit further north. I think a bit of a coastal flight. And yeah, we'll come back into Humberside having shown this aircraft off. I want to do some flights in this aircraft. I did a flight earlier on, and it was Humberside to Duxford in this very aircraft, and it was actually really, really good. But yeah, at the moment we are going to do just a brief little flight around the local area before coming back into Humberside. But just look at the levels of details. I love an airplane that has toggle switches for a start. I love an airplane with dials galore. I mean, obviously it is a twin seat arrangement, pilot and co-pilot, so you have got a duplicated set of controls and dials for the co-pilot, who will sit on the right hand side. But we do have a lot of controls. I'll just get rid of that. I might as well get rid of the control apps before I forget about them. We have all these buttons down here. It's amazing. It's really, really detailed. And we have workable fuses. They do pop if you start to misbehave with the aircraft. It's something else. It really is a beautiful aircraft. And we'll go on to the tablet down here. We'll go on the tablet in a minute. But just look at the levels of detail that go into this thing. It just looked absolutely fantastic. I mean, the one thing I would say, is it doesn't look lived in. See, it's an old aircraft. And yeah, the controls look very clean. I mean, they would be clean anyway. They're high quality plastic, I would imagine, or some kind of polymer. So they would be quite shiny if you keep touching it. But things like the shroud up here, little bits of scuff marks on them, but I would expect a little bit more to be honest. I mean, maybe it's a well looked after aircraft. It is like a Learjet minus the jet engines, I suppose. But yeah, plenty of space for 4 people in luxury, facing each other. So that's a different kind of arrangement. So those of you sitting there and there, you're facing the wrong way. Be an interesting thought, barreling down the runway backwards. But anyway, we're not going to have anyone in the aircraft because who would be brave enough to sit in an aircraft with me? So what we are going to do to start this thing up, I am going to do something I don't normally do. I don't think I've ever featured it on the channel, and that is to actually use a tablet. So yeah, I don't use tablets. I don't use checklists. Well, I have paper checklists, but I'd never pay attention to this checklist. But I did need it earlier on. So let's get this thing up and running. So, pre-flight cockpit, we're not going to do. Well, let's just see what we've got there. Pre-flight inspection, control locks been removed, seatbelts are secured, cabin door has been latched, that is. Oh, actually, no, before we do this, I will show you the tablet. So this is the tablet that pops up with the aircraft. We do have on the first screen multiple options for our avionics. I'm running the PMS GTN 750 and 650, which is selected. You can use the PMS or the TDS GTN XI. I have both of them. I personally rate the PMS 50 even as being my preferred option for the GTN 750, which is obviously this set of screens here. But you can go back to the GNS 530s and 430s, and then if you really want to go old-fashioned, you can go for the KX 155Bs arrangement and the KLM 90Bs. So that's going a bit old-fashioned for my liking, but we do have options here. Obviously, these are payware pieces of software, so you do have to pay extra for them, but I won't go over them too much in today's video. So anyway, we can go through the payload. So we're currently flying with 49 gallons. That would be plenty enough for us. We can put people obviously into our seats and luggage. We have a nose compartment for as a baggage area up with the nose here. Also got the nose baggage door, cabin doors, a refill our oxygen. That won't be a problem. I am going to put external power on because we'll need that to get going. Obviously things will start to pop up now as we have external power connected to the aircraft. In fact, if we just look outside, we have the little start cart sitting there waiting for us. So we also have, and this is where it gets really, really detailed, this is just the left engine. Now this is like a top-down, split-up view of the engine and how it's going to be running. And when its engine is actually running, it's going to be bouncing these little, I I think what you call them now, but they'll be bouncing around like a lunatics. And basically you'll see how the engine is working and where it's taking its fuel from, where it's taking its oil from, where all that kind of stuff. You'll be able to see the condition of the engine. You can also clean the plugs and repair the starter and all that kind of stuff when the engine conditions are 100%. Same for the right engine. Again, engine conditions are 100%. We've got an electrical system. Now, this is where it's getting uber levels of detail in all this. And basically, I have literally no idea what this all means. Haven't the foggiest. Never have, never will. Cabin, so this is to do our air conditioning. So obviously, it's only us that's going to be in this aircraft at the moment. But if you had people in here, you can tell what kind of air and temperature and deal with your pressurization, because this aircraft can be pressurized and you can go up to super high altitudes. For a general aviation aircraft, it's very high altitude, which is something to do with this load of controls down here. Won't be messing around with them too much. About as high as about, I would say the highest about 8,000 feet we'll be going to today. I wouldn't say we'll be going that high, to be honest, but yeah, you can mess around, and it's all simulated, it's all realistic, and you will want to pay attention to it if you're doing things properly. We do have a failures page. I have turned the failures off. Okay, so as normally it comes with a 1 times, so you do have various things that can fail on this aircraft at any given time, and then that's just a list of all the things that go pop, wrong, bang, whiz, depart from the aircraft. Everything from controls to engines to specific even parts of the engine. So yeah, we'll turn that off because not interested too much in things going wrong at the moment. It takes me forever to get this thing started. So yeah, that's the tablet. So just click back over here to get rid of it. So now we should bring back up this. So pre-flight, so cabin door has been latched, nose baggage door has been latched, parking brake is set and confirmed it is, landing gear is down, we're on them, and it's physically down on my controls. Electronic switches are all in the off position, they are. I shouldn't really be clicking this. Engine and avionics switch is off. Engine and avionics switches, avionics are up here, so they're all off as well. Oxygen, but I'm not going to check that. Can I move this, please? Thank you. So we're looking at the fuse panel. Everything is everything is all connected and all in. The fuses have not popped. That's good. Circuit breakers, intercooler air. I'm not gonna pay attention to that. Let's get to the fun part. Let's start this thing up. Thank you. We'll go back over there. Right, this is the fun part. I tried starting this with a bit of logic that I use. It didn't work, so I had to go out and load this thing up with the checklist here. So let's see if we can get this right. So beacon light, beacon lights will that, and we're going to put the beacon on, beacon and recognition on. Let's actually put it on to correct. So just beacons. So it's basically the light switches have like dual function. I don't just mean on and off. So in this case, off is the middle position, and beacon light only is up, and beacon and recognition light is down. So same with the navigation lights as well. So that's battery master switch is now coming on. Bus volts. Yeah, we're running on external batteries. That's not an issue. Fuel quantities have been checked before flight. That's fine. Cowl flaps are fully open, so cowl flaps are down the bottom here. So we have 2 buttons. Again, limitation of the flight simulator. We don't have any fingers, but we can do this and basically click in the middle. And they don't move. There is actually a sound. I think there's a little like spur gear or something in the bottom here. That's where the cowl flaps are located. So once you don't hear any sound, I think it takes about 15 seconds to completely shut them. But they're now open, and that's fine. Annunciators, test and conditions, that's this. And all lights come on, that's correct. Right, so now we are dealing with the left engine startup system. Left boost pump on. Left boost pump audible checked. Left boost pump off. Okay, that's fine. Right boost pump on. Audible and off. So that's correct. So engine start. We'll do a cold engine start. I mean, it is. Yeah, it's probably cold. This aircraft hasn't flown for a while. Right, so pre-oiler for 30 seconds. So we are now going to start the left engine. So pre-oiler's down the bottom here. We'll leave that to on. About 30 seconds. We're we're going to do, this says the right engine, but we're going to do for the left engine because it's closest to us. So you can see here the pre-oiler is going to put some PSI into our oil system here. And as you can see, the needle is slightly moving, but if you want to move it a little bit quicker, you can actually tap the gauges. It's that realistic, you can tap the gauges. So sometimes it gets stuck. Just have a little coffee while I'm in. Right, so we got a good reading, we got 30 seconds. Right, so right mixture is going to go to full. So here. So we're going to go left, aren't we? So left mixture to full. High RPM is selected. We'll pull that one back, and that is set to high RPM. Right, so right throttle, so left throttle, we're going to be going for fully open. And then 5 to 8 seconds for the boost pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll have down to here where the throttle is cracked and open. It is. Click on those. So let's hope this thing fires up. It'll be a first. And we have a good start. Get the RPM up to about 1,000. Well, that don't know anymore. Right, so we have left generators going to come on. So we're going to rinse and repeat for the right engine. So, pre-oiler on to, well, that's the time being, pre-oiler on and leave that for 30 seconds. Again, we're looking for this dial now. It's basically 3-in-1 dial. So you've got your PSIs, your oil, and your cylinder temperature. About time. Right. Battery temperature's fine. Pre-oiler for left side. So down here, so pre-oiler's done. Left oil pressure 15 psi. Left mixture is coming up to full. RPM full. Throttle fully open. And our boost pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Off, set. Check over the right side. Good start. Right, generators coming on. Inverters coming on. Master's coming on. You can listen to the sounds as well. Everything starts powering up. It's a very, very realistically well done aircraft. Right, so map. Flight plan. We're going to come in back in the same place. So Echo Golf November Juliet. Transponder, Squawking 7000, I'm going to set that to on. I would set that for terrain, but we're going to actually set it up for nearest airport. Right, so lights are set, beacons are set, engine and power is set. going to set an autopilot altitude, so we'll go for 5. Taxi lights are on. Turn Trackir on now and hope that's all set up. Test. We don't really use the weather radar too much because there isn't much weather around us, but it's nice to use it. So we've got no aircraft in our local area. Don't know why that aircraft came up out of nowhere, but hey ho. Zero the altimeter. Set the radar warning. Radar altimeter for 300 feet. And let's roll out. Oop, I just remembered something. No, I did turn the external power off, that's good. That was a horrible thought, I was still connected to it. So we've got no traffic in the area. We're going to ignore that Embraer coming in. I've literally no idea. I haven't played around with any options for the sim to change that, so I don't know why that Embraer came in. But hey ho. Lights coming off, strobe and nav lights are on, fuel pumps coming on, cowl flaps are still wide open, that's fine, bags are fine. So let's get it going. Let's see how good the Duke is. Set, prop picture set, throttle set, let's go. Rate, gears coming up. Flap retracted. There's 1,000 feet. takeoff checks. Flaps are confirmed and up. Gear is up and no lights flashing. Landing lights are off. Is now on. That's 2,500 for 5,000. Sitting at about 1,000 foot increase of altitude. So there you go, the Duke. I wasn't going to say that it's better than the Aerostar, but it's certainly a very, very good aircraft. And it has a bit of pedigree in the fact that it's been out for 2020 already for quite a while. That's what I purchased it for. And it definitely is a very, very good aircraft. So we're going to close our cowl flaps. Close them. So if you want to get around the UK or pretty much anywhere, I mean, like I say, it's a pressurised aircraft. You could in theory fly this pretty much over to Europe, quite easy, quite high altitudes. You get a turboprop version, even faster. Passing 4.5 for 5,000. We're looking at the Sentry 4 here modes. At the moment it's climbing up to its desired altitude. Get about 4,800, it's a switch over to altitude hold. And there we go. And we'll carry on up to our desired altitude of 5,000 feet. Boost pumps off. Cowl flaps are closed. No warnings. Start pulling back the mixture. It's all gravy. When I started this channel, I was going to do a multi-part video of like a tour around the UK. And when I was looking for the aircraft to actually fly, this was one of them. This was on the list. and I think I did a couple of parts of the video, and just for some reason, I don't know, it didn't really work out. So yeah, I think I ended up flying to like Edinburgh, I think it was, the 2 or 3 parts of the video. I may come back to doing that. I may come back if I get a few hours logged on with this aircraft and it still behaves just the way it is. I may decide to come back and visit that video again and do that in Flight Simulator 2024 around the UK flight in a general aviation aircraft such as this iconic Duke. Currently we're flying on nav hold. Sorry, heading hold even. The difference is between, I've gone through this before, nav hold is the smart way. Heading hold is just purely flying a heading. So pay attention to the dotted line here that appears, and that is my heading, my chosen heading. And the aircraft will now follow this and turn around and fly that heading, well, for as long as there's fuel in the tanks. Nav hold is when you'd have a multi-part flight, so different waypoints put in. So even if you was flying, I was doing a flight from Humberside to Duxford, and my chosen flight, which Simbrief came up with, was to take me from out of Humberside over to Gamston and then fly down south to direct to Duxford. And you would prefer to have a nav hold for that, because the aircraft will then fly the route, it'll fly over to Gamston, you select the altitude, it flies to Gamston and then automatically switches over and then flies the downward leg all the way down to Duxford, and that's perfectly fine. When I got close to Duxford, I put in the arrivals. So if we click on procedures, we can set our approach, I think it was, into runway 1, 2, 3, I can't which one it is now, but yeah, setting it up for Duxford, and basically the aircraft was able to quickly, it swaps the flight plan out, the magenta line, and basically brings me onto a course heading straight for Duxford. So put me on the heading for the runway, which is perfectly ideal for when you're not entirely sure where the runway is. I swear this aircraft just looks so beautiful. It looks complicated, and it is complicated. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It's a very, very complicated aircraft. Everything does exactly what it's supposed to do. And when you couple that up with a GTN 750 and 650 and all the options that thing comes up with, it is a very complicated aircraft. But it's quite easy to work out. It's quite easy to simplify itself down to different parts of the flight. Now we're up to altitude. We're doing what, 150 knots, 5,000 feet. Sorted, absolutely sorted. I will be going back next week, I think it is, to the normal schedule of 2 normal pre-recorded videos. I don't think the live videos get that much viewers, that sort of thing. Obviously the 2 videos I did while I was on holiday, they were just like filler videos. And I think the pre-recorded videos do get a little bit more out of them, so I will be going back to them. The next video will be pre-recorded. It'll be coming out in a couple of days' time, just to bring me back into line with my usual scheduling. And it will be featuring Cow's new DA40 NG, which they just released. Going to start a little descent down, so set down for 3,000. As you can see on the map here, we have this dotted line. Now, because I set my destination as the same place as my departure, it will always put the destination's runway lines taking you directly into the runways. So it's a very good way, as well as finding out what runway heading you need to be on. On now because I'm about to forget them. Still flying on autopilot as we slowly descend. It's 4,000. The warning comes up to indicate we're 1,000 feet below or above our selected altitude, so we'll just clear that. Feet. Open our cowl flaps. Now the cowl flaps do add drag to the airplane, so it will slow us down a little bit. It's almost like putting like little flaps. You can just see them on the left engine here. That's the bottom part of the cowl flap. They're underneath the engine. Obviously you can't see the right engine version. So, landing lights are on and confirmed. Cowl flaps are open. Boost pumps are on. I think runway's coming into sight, just ahead of us. Maintaining about 117 knots. ourselves the most power, just in case we do need it. So we're looking for a touchdown speed of anywhere between 85 and about 90. So usually where that red mark is. It's quite easy to slow this aircraft down. It is a fast aircraft, but it is with the flaps hanging, it does, and the gear hanging, it does tend to slow down quite well. Slowly descend down to about 2,500. Still flying autopilot. We're taking over when we get over the Humber. Runway is clearly in sight. Got the Humber bridge over to our right hand side. Autopilot's coming off. I have control. Spin back. That's coming down to approach. Coming down. Gear down, 3 green. Final checks. Fuel pumps are on. Landing lights are on. Flaps are down to approach. Gear is down 3 green. unfortunately for me, that was a very good landing. So, as always, at the Humberside, we don't have a taxiway, so we will be fast tracking back up the runway. Very good braking system in this aircraft, so you will be needing your seatbelts in the back. So, flaps coming up. Boost pumps are off. So while we trundle back to the taxi, well, while we trundle back to parking, I think if you like the Aerostar, you will like this. I'm not going to compare the Cowes DA42 Twin Star, an amazing twin-engine aircraft in its own right. I will not compare that aircraft to this because the DA42 is quite new. It has a G1000 cockpit. This has 1,000,001 dials. So it sort of does compare to the Aerostar 600. It also compares to the A2A product in the depth of detail that goes on. With the tablet, you have a lot of options, a lot of things you have to look out for. Whereas I'm not taking this away from Cowes, their aircraft is very detailed, but it doesn't even have a tablet, bar the Flight Simulator's own tablet. TBM 850. I haven't got. Have I got it? I haven't got it. I think. Well, TBM 850 is a single engine turboprop, I do believe, if I remember correctly. Just wait a minute. Landing lights coming off. Taxi lights coming on. Strobe lights coming off. I think all Black Square products are absolutely fantastic. They're all well done. Great sounds. Lots of depth, like I was going through. They all have the tablets and the options, and they're really, really good. Turboprops to me, I don't like them. I don't mean the Flight Simulator products, I just mean turboprops in general. Hideous sound. But as a Flight Simulator product, I would say the 850 would be faster, much higher altitude, but being a Black Square product, it's still going to be very, very good. So yeah, I think it boils down to, do you like twin engine aircraft? Do you like turboprops? Do you like lots of gauges? Do you like multi-screen gauges with the digital setups? Right, parking brake set. Pull the mixtures back a bit. Don't need them running like that. Right, okay, so. Good animation on the props. It's something you don't get too often on aircraft, is the animation of the props. Right, so tax lights can come off. Go to middle, they were to middle, blah, blah, blah. So many buttons to press. Fuel pump's already off. So, there we go. Like I say, if you're into the Aerostar 600, the A2A Aerostar 600, even though it's still not it's not fully released yet, I think you will love this aircraft. The Duke is just fantastic. It's a very unique looking aircraft. It is quite an old aircraft, but marry it up with a GTN 750 option and it becomes a lot better and a lot newer to look at. It is fast, it is sleek, it is maneuverable, it'll get you somewhere, it'll get you somewhere very quickly. There is the this version, I think, is the bigger Duke, Grand Duke I think they call it. There is a slightly smaller version in the piston engine variety, which is just called the Duke. There is the Turbo Duke, where you replace the engines, the propeller engines, with turboprops. I may do a video on that. Again, I'm not a fan of turboprops, if I'm honest. I don't think there is a non-winglet version. I don't know whether the smaller Duke... In fact, we'll have a look. Let's have a look. I don't remember. And flight. Let's have a look, Chaz. I don't know if it's in this one. No. Oh, the times I've gone for these options, I never understand it. But yes, you're right, the Black Square Duke. We do have one here that is not. So we have the Grand Duke, the B60 Grand Duke, and the B60 Normal Duke. Let's load that up. We'll show you it while we're here. Let's have a look. So again, it's going with piston engine one. So there you go. That is the non-winglet version. Or the normal Duke. I honestly don't know what the difference with the Grand Duke. I presume it's size, I presume it's seating arrangements. You still get all the arrangements of cockpit and confusability and the GTN 750 options. You get cotton seats. Ooh, that's old-fashioned. But yeah, still got a four-seater. But as you have asked, no winglets. You do have, like I said, the turboprop version. I've not got that installed yet. It is a separate installation. Now you can purchase this. I've put a link in the video below, in the description I should say, and you purchase this from Just Flight, and you can purchase them separately. So you can purchase the Piston Dukes and the Turbo Dukes separately, or you can buy them together. It is cost effective to buy them together. They are expensive. You know, you're looking at about a £50 job here. They are expensive, but if you kind of think you're going to get both of them, get both in the one package. It's much better money-wise, and at the end of the day, that's more important. I mean, I won't fly the turboprop version that much, but yeah, it is there. So I will bring the turboprop version in, and I'll try and get round trying to fly that thing. It's turboprops, but like I say, if you like the Aerostar 600, you'll love this thing. It's absolutely fantastic. If you love the depth, love the detail, love the information, really having to work for a flight, it's not done for you. It is plenty of buttons and toggle switches and all that kind of stuff. Then you'll just love this thing. It really is. It's worth the money. It is an expensive product, but it's worth the money. Yeah, that's really all I've got to say on this one. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I may bring the multi-part video flying around the UK even, in this aircraft. I stupidly thought about doing a around the world flight, but if I can't do around the UK, I can't do around the world. But yeah, I may do a multi-part video. So yeah, if you've got any questions or comments about the Duke, please bang them below, and I'll get around to answering them as I can. And I will see you in a future Microsoft Flight Simulator video very, very soon.